social anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and depression. These are just some of the subjects explored in the 2016 anime film A Silent Voice. As someone who has only ever watched action animes like the legendary Attack on Titan or the quirky JoJo Bizarre Adventure series, A Silent Voice was a huge change for me. A Silent Voice starts off with our main character, Shoya Ishida, planning to jump off a bridge and end his life. Prior to this, he had sold all of his belongings, from his video game console to his own bed. He also left his job and left nothing in his room except a calendar that went up to the 15th of April, the day he wanted to commit suicide. The whole scene is quiet, and we are only left to wonder what Ishida is thinking. After a few seconds thinking on the bridge, Ishida only stops because he hears some fireworks blowing off. After this, the movie jumps into a montage about Shoya's childhood and about how much fun he and his friends used to have. This all changes when a new student named Shoko Nishimiya joins the classroom, and to everyone's surprise, she has a disability that doesn't allow her to hear. And obviously, Shoya being one of the popular kids and the class clown, he and his friends start teasing her, but this eventually increases to the point of Shoya and his friends bullying her. They throw her expensive hearing aids around the classroom, breaking them or throwing them away. This reaches its peak when Shoya pulls out Nishimiya's hearing aids and makes her bleed in the process. The next day, the principal comes into class and tells them that Nishimiya's mother called in and that she suspects that Shoko is being bullied at school and that she won't be attending there from now on. Ishida's teacher shouts at him, telling him that he should stand up as he knows what Ishida has been doing. Ishida's friends quickly turn on him and tell the teacher that they told him to stop, but he kept on bullying her. After school, Shoya and his mom went to see the Nishimiya's family, and on the way, Shoya's mom stopped at the bank and withdrew a huge sum of money. Shoya then realizes how his actions affected his family. Shoya's mom and Shoko's mom both go somewhere to talk. And Shoya's mom comes back to him with bleeding ears. After this event, Ishida had to take all the blame and then was seen as an outcast among his class. He was then the one being bullied and made fun of. After a few years, we see Shoya suffering from social anxiety and feeling guilty for what he did in the past. He learns sign language, hoping one day to see Nishimiya and say sorry to her. He sees her. This starts a journey of Shoya trying to fix his wrongs and learning to forgive himself and saying sorry to Nishimiya for what he did in the past. A Silent Voice uses so many things to convey its message, like using clever animation techniques, her subtle hints on foreshadowing, and making the story from the quote-unquote bully's perception. Usually in media, a story is based on bullying is told from the victim's perception of how they felt when they were being bullied and how the audience cheers on the victim every time the victim is able to overcome obstacles. But a silent voice is different. It takes a risky approach and makes the audience cheer on the quote-unquote bully when he tries to do something right and fix his past. The movie shows Shoya's anxiety by using X marks on the face of the character. The X's only come off if Shoya thinks he could open up to the character, like when Shoya makes his first friend in his new school, but sometimes the X's come back, like when Yuena forced Shoya to meet up with his childhood friend/bully. By then, the end of the movie, it shows a satisfying finish when all the X's on everyone's face start to peel off. The reason this is because Shoya, because he's suffering from social anxiety, he can't look at people's faces when he talks to them. It's shown cleverly by always using his eye perception of how he sees the world sometimes when he's talking to characters. Foreshadowing is used cleverly many times, but the ones I always remember is when Shoya tries to catch Shoko when she jumps into a river to find her book, to when Shoko fails to catch Shoya when he's sliding down a pavement. This is then given its finish when Shoya saves Shoko from a suicide attempt in a beautifully animated, tense scene that made me think Shoko was going to die. I know I haven't talked much about this film as much as I wanted to, but I just wanted to talk about the movie's ending. I want to start from the part when Shoya gets invited by Shoko to the fireworks display. Shoya and Shoko both sit near each other and they look mesmerized by the fireworks. But then Shoko's sister, Yuzuru, and her mother both stand up to go buy some food. After that, Shoko stands up and tells Shoya that she's going to go study. Then she proceeds to say goodbye in sign language to Shoya. This is significant, as every time they would split up, Shoko would always say "see you later" in sign language, but this time she says goodbye. Shoko goes away, and then Yuzuru asks Shoya to go get her camera from the house, as she wants to take pictures of the fireworks display. Shoya agrees and goes to the Nishimiya's household. Shoya finds the camera and sees the fireworks displays are still visible from the house, but then sees something confusing. The music starts speeding up and getting tense as Shoya starts to realize that Shoko is standing on the edge of the balcony. He's still confused, but starts walking closer, and then it snaps to him. He realizes that Shoko is about to jump. Shoya holds Shoko with all of his strength and manages to save her. But then he slips up and ultimately falls off the balcony. Shoya awakens from the hospital. It's nighttime and no one is around. He starts thinking about if Shoko is okay, so he goes to the same Koi Fish River bridge that he used to go to with Shoko, and he finds her there. They both have a conversation, with Shoya saying he's sorry and if she could help him live. I know that I haven't even scratched the surface with this video, and this is my first ever review video, but I would highly recommend rewatching the movie even if you have already seen it, as it's just that good in my opinion. If you like the video, then hit the like button. If you're new here, then please subscribe, it helps me more than you think. And comment if you think I should make any more of these videos, as this is my first anime review / movie review, or whatever you'd like to call it.